The footage you're about to see is based on the beta version of 11 Table Tennis on the Oculus Quest 2 as of January 15th, 2022, and if I'm going to be honest, is most likely going to improve by the developers of the game before its final release. However, what I'm trying to do here is to test the current status of the avatars for Penhold users using a Penhold grip and a Penhold adapter. More specifically, I wanted to look at the various footwork and whether or not that is properly translated to the avatars. And so to do that, I'm doing a very classic drill here, which focuses on the footwork. There's a step around, a backhand to forehand motion, followed by a full table forehand cover motion. And this is, again, a very classic footwork drill. And so I recorded myself doing this, and then I later rewatched it. However, as I was rewatching it, it just didn't quite look right. So it turned out that the pen hold grip is slightly incorrect currently in the beta version. And I've already discussed this with the developers. They're aware of it, and hopefully they will fix it soon. However, that's not what I'm going to focus in on in this video. Instead, I want to focus in on the torso and the fact that the body torso does not match the body position of me, the current player you're looking at, in real life. So what I mean by that is that for this particular screenshot, you see I'm doing an inside out forehand stroke. From the torso, it looks like my legs are drifting on the left, to the left of the screen. That's not true. In fact, my legs should be, and my body should be, more tilted to the right of the screen. And so this is problematic for various different reasons, because this is bad form, and it's a bad example. If every single avatar in this game uses poor footwork, it normalizes poor footwork. And that's not what you want in a table tennis simulator. So that's the first problem. The second problem is that it actually has an effect on strategy because the problem here is that it's currently hiding the actual position of the opponent. And when you do that, if you can't see the actual opponent and it's showing you something that's different, it may tempt certain players, especially the more experienced player, to try to take advantage of this off position. However, in truth, despite what the avatar looks like, I'm not in an off position. I'm actually in the correct position. And there's a different strategy you're supposed to use when I'm in an inside out position as opposed to an off position. And so a lot of this strategy suddenly becomes nullified if the avatars do not match what is actually happening in reality. And so that's why this is an issue, and that's why I wanted to examine more carefully as to why the Avatar 2.0 is currently always in the off position when I do this drill specifically. And so there was a number of potential reasons as to why this would be the case. I thought, first of all, maybe it's because I'm in an inside out position. In other words, I'm on the far right of the screen here doing a forehand stroke. And so I recorded myself hitting shots of the inside out forehand, and it actually looks pretty good. The motion looks about right. You can even see the little bounce in my step as I'm moving. So it all looks pretty good. And so it's not that the avatars cannot capture the inside out position. So it must be something else. Something else is causing that torso wiggling motion that you see during the drill. And so the next hypothesis I had is perhaps it's the side to side motion, the going to left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And so I recorded myself doing this side to side motion, only the side to side motion, to see if once again we are seeing the weird drifting motion of the torso, the incorrect torso orientation. And watching this, you can see that yes, the torso is in fact incorrectly positioned for a lot of these shots. So it does appear to be the side to side motion. And so I want to examine it a little bit more carefully and try to figure out whether or not it's possible for me to reset the body torso. And I experimented with this in various different ways. First off, I tried standing upright between my shots. I thought maybe it's because I was slouched down that it's not doing this correctly. So I tried doing this. It didn't work. As you can see, the torso is still wrong. Next, I thought maybe it was the controllers. So I tried raising my hands between shots. Once again, the torso was not quite correct. I thought maybe something a little more complex, like an arm circle, would help. So I tried doing arm circles before using my shot. Again, could not do it. So then, if it's not the controller, I thought maybe it's the headset. So what I did is I tilted my headset up before shots. Again, the torso was not corrected, and I tried tilting my headset down. And unfortunately, it is still not working. So I tried messing around with the controller, I tried messing around with the headset, And really none of it worked. So what I tried next is I tried to slow everything down. I basically take a shot, then I slowly walk to the next spot, then I take another shot, and then I slowly walk back. And so you can see me here going back and forth. It starts off incorrect, as you can see there, but then it corrects itself. Um, Apparently, the slow shots, moving slower does, in fact, correct the torso back to where it's supposed to be, but it takes multiple seconds, which in table tennis, uh, it's the game moves so much faster than that. You don't have time to allow the avatars to get back into position at its current setting. And so this is something that needs to be examined a little more carefully because it doesn't make sense for the avatars to require 5 seconds or whatever number of seconds I didn't count for it to correct itself. And so, long story short, I do want to mention that the avatars do look amazing. I'm very excited for this feature to come out, but in the end, it's just still not quite perfect. And so, just to kind of reiterate some of my final thoughts, I want to mention that overall, again, very promising. It gives you a much more complete view of the player. It actually does. It's actually very impressive that the body predictions are so accurate. It's just that there's just some couple minor issues, and these minor issues can unfortunately have very drastic effects, particularly in the sense of normalizing poor form. And so this is something I hope that developers would take care of to look at more deeply. But again, very excited to see this happening, and I look forward to seeing where 11 table tennis takes us in the future. So thank you for listening.